Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It with David Hill. Today we're going to be discussing, um, different cultures and our culture specifically. Because we have a culture that was the first culture on earth, but it's like, for some reason, we can't seem to gather ourselves together as a culture as we did back then. Because when we did, or shall I say, when we ran things on earth, there was peace and tranquility. There was no such wars as we have today. So we're going to talk about us and our people. We're going to be discussing things about other cultures that were taught us in school, because we know about other cultures, but we know not too much about our own. Ours I put out there, but things like CNN and things of that nature, or say the History Channel, for example. They put a lot of our culture out there, but we pay no attention to it at all. And then they put it out there in the media for you to see, but when you look at it, it's all turned white, which is not true. They portray things like, the movies that they come out with, like the gods of Egypt and things of that nature. But as soon as the movie starts coming on, the first thing you see is some lily white boy. There was no lily white boys back then. There were none but us. And now they're saying that these people, our ancestors, are theirs. That's not true either. You might notice the robe that I'm wearing. You say, well, that's Chinese, or it's a kung fu, this and that. You ever ask yourself where it come from? That's the thing of our culture too. Always been our culture. You look at the Shaolin Hall, or you can look at movies and they'll tell you the first hall to be opened was the Damo Hall. Damo was a black brother. Martial arts is ours too, as every other thing on this planet that these people try to call their own, but what it's not. But now I'd like to introduce to the show a young man. My co-producer is a great guy, Mr. Delano Thomas. Welcome in, please. My boy here. Hotep.
Hotep. Let's see.
By the way, Hotep means peace in our ancient Kemetic tongue. All right, how you doing today, Delano?
I'm doing good. It's been a very eventful day in a good way.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Okay, hey, God bless. You know, I want to talk today about cultures and our culture. How can we pull things together as a nation of how you want to call them, whether it be black brothers, culture. Our culture is of a darker nation. Well, you could call it black or black people. But one thing we don't call ourselves is niggers. I'm not a nigger nor a negro. I'm not an African, because the word African came from the oppressor who named it after a guy called Africanus. So there's no such thing as an African. Not at all. We are Kemetic people. We come from a place called Ancient Kemet. I don't know why they keep putting the label on it, and our people can't seem to grasp that. I don't understand our people, because you're supposed to be able to grasp anything that's yours. I mean, when you grasp what's yours, you get to see the benefit of who you are as a person. But that was taken away from understanding that. But it's back now. This is what we're talking about, and we should spend every waking moment finding out who we are. Because once we do, that's when the healing can commence as a people.
Because we'll be on the same page, be able to connect with one another. That's good health, speaking of healing.
Yes, it is.
And once we know it's good for each other to communicate with each other and have dialogue, have interaction with each other, participate with each other, that simply put, life get better. You know what I mean?
Well, I believe that will have a very great big impact upon our young, especially our younger brothers, because they tired of the useless killing in the streets. I mean, every time we turn around, we talk about how the police have shot us down, and they talk about how we've shot each other down, which is, that's a legitimate gripe too.
I think
You gotta
that's
start shoot our people down first.
But when it's right, when you're talking about this subject that you said our people getting shot down first, that when you're talking about that the black on black crime, that's just distraction, that's just dilution. You know what I mean? Trying to water down the point
The
and the
media
impact.
was put there to distract you, but it's still black on black crime.
It is, but that don't got nothing to do with white on black crime. Other than is me.
That's I understand that too. But here's the thing: the Hillel nation got to start with each other. I mean, why? Because you said something that was.
You mean the nation? Do you mean all races or?
I mean our race. I'm
Our
not
race.
talking. Let's talk, like I said, let's go back to other races, other cultures. Okay, let's look at other cultures. Let's look at the Italian culture. They all stand by each other, no matter what happens. Let's look at what was the other
Irish.
I just was Irish. The same.
Or Asian?
Asian, the same. Because they are people that look out for one another.
Russians?
Our people, and we should take a lesson from them to say, okay, well, what they do seem to work. I understand where we was put. We can't blame that on anybody anymore. Because today's society, you have enough freedom. Not much, but you have enough to say, okay, I should be able to know the difference. Because you can go and ask our people anything about what they taught us in school. About their history, their wars, their this, their that. When you ask them about each other, what about us? What do you know about us? What do you know about us?
What I was taught in school, what I was learned from elders, things like that. Basically, that is it.
Well, what did you learn? Tell me. What you learn about us specifically? Our place in world history. What do we do in world history?
What I learned is we are the original. And basically, that covers all ground.
All right, now, where did you learn that? And how long did it take you to learn that?
I learned it. I don't know when I first started hearing. I guess growing up, hanging at the community center over here, there was some ethnic pride still going around in the. I guess that's the early '80s, late '70s,
Very early 80s.
Yeah.
That's when things were dying out.
Right.
Okay, everything was dying and they took the leaders away and Black Panther Party was gone.
But we had Pete Ivy over there.
Yeah.
He was powerful like you.
Yes, you did. I remember him as a little boy. I grew up around there too. But there wasn't much to teach. I mean, we had the original Bible and everything then, because I know I've seen it. I've not seen it until eyes are open today. But I remember everything back then. That's why I talk about things like Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus things, these are some of the other books that I've seen in my days, along with the original Bible and everything about our people. Because like you say, our people are the original people on this earth. We are the original. We're the only ones old enough to be called ancient. Not a giant coming lately white man, because he's not old enough to be called ancient. According to him and his Bible, man is 6,600 years some odd years old.
Does the,
According to them.
does the science bear out to that for them as well?
Oh no, that's before
For their
the
people.
finding of Kemet. Okay, that's after Kemet. Okay, which is a Kemelan or Kush, however you might call it. One thing it's not. It is not a place called Africa. It's not. They got that name from a white guy called, his last name was Afrikaans. They put it to us. And he's supposed to discover it. Okay. So how can you discover something, call people a name that they're not?
It's ridiculous. It's too much proof.
Well, that's too much proof. But here's the thing. We can't stop saying it.
Right. We don't know what to call it, for one thing. Most people, you know what I mean? Kemet, Akibalan, that, which would we choose?
Or you think about this. Think about the theft. The theft of where we came from. Okay, that's what I think about. They came in posing as archaeologists to steal everything that we had, but they had already taken over before then. With a guy called Ptolemy the First. He was the first Soter of Egypt. So it wasn't Solomon's house that they went in, because Solomon didn't exist. They said, well, how can you say these things about the book of the Bible? How can you say these things? Well, let's see. Let's think about the history of things. Okay? These things that the Bible say happened in Egypt. This is what you heard, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
At first, that's the first one I heard, Egypt.
The Bible says all this happened over there.
I mean, but to me, the Bible is not valid.
But hold on, this is, I'm proving that's not valid. Because from this book, as you read, all of these people came from out of Egypt. All of them. Because Moses had the freedom from this evil Pharaoh. This is what was told me as a child in school. It's what I learned in the Sunday school or whatever school they had.
I went there too.
As we was made and taught to pray the prayers of the leaders and things of that nature. Okay, well, let's think back. Okay, these things happen there. They've stolen things that they call artifacts and things like that from the graves of Egypt. But those men, what they took and took their things, the precious treasures out of there, were black men. Way before the found of this early becoming these other people. But this is after the finding of Kemet. When he came out with this book. With Jesus and all that. But so my question is this. We have been recording deaths from the beginning, which no one knows how long that is. And it started with those black people, or dark-skinned people, however you want to call it, people of color, people that's very brown still, real black. They've been recording from the beginning. So why can't we find Paul's grave, Ezekiel's grave, Moses' grave, Joshua? How can we find none of these graves in the book? But you can find all our people that predated them by over 20,000 years. And we're buried in a place called the Valley of the Kings.
So it should be harder to find that 20,000 years ago.
Right. So why can we find ours, but we can't find any of theirs? I mean, what does that say to you?
there's no proof.
that these people ever existed in that book called the Bible.
Right, there's no.
Which was what they call it, what they call it, an occult with us, or they had a cult. Which was a spiritual way of life with our people. We didn't have to go to churches because Ma'at was already in us. What is Ma'at? Ma'at, to be Ma'at, to be righteous. Stand righteous before the gods, as Osiris did.
Did they come together to do ceremonies to celebrate and worship, to say?
Oh, yes, we did.
Did we? Yeah.
And it was Osiris, because he was the first to be resurrected. And here's the thing, we can find his grave. And everybody else. Why can't we find Jesus' grave, for instance? Why can't we find Paul's grave? I'm waiting on an answer for all that there, and I've not received one yet.
Because you know what? It don't necessarily prove nothing, but you could say there's no proof.
Let's say that we do know this, that there was a Nicene Council back then in 325 AD. We know that.
Okay.
That's documented. As everything else, their graves are documented then.
Yeah, that to the formula.
But when we go to this document, it says the creation of Jesus Christ. Why would he have to be created if he already existed?
The document, the Nicene document says the creation of?
It says the creation of.
That's impressive. That
Like
tells you right there.
We know his history. What about our history?
Exactly.
They took everything that we had, and then you don't even know, and then I think about our women.
Our history, which is their history.
No, that's not their history.
We the original.
That's not their history. They are not us.
They got some of us.
They come, I don't know where they came. Actually, I really don't know where. I know where they came out of. I don't know where they came from. They came out of a cave. I don't know. I definitely know that. They dwelt in the cave. This is where the story they come up with, Romans and Remus sucking the paps from dogs. They made a movie out like the Ten Commandments. This is back, I remember all these things when I was a young fellow. They made it, you can go online, ladies and gentlemen, and put it in Romulus and Remus. All you got to do is say those names into your phone, and you'll see the wolf show up with two little white boys get ready to suck the tits of the dog. And once you put it in, the movie should start to play. They'll tell you what's going on with it. It's almost a movie, almost like the Ten Commandments. You know how they put Moses on the river, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. So to know who he is, because I studied you, and I do know who you are. Just like you know who I am. This is why you're scared. You took from us, and you ain't. I don't blame you guys, but it's over with. That part is over with. We know better now. The awakening has begun. And I wish that all of our people would wake up and see what's going on. These things I tell you, there's no need to take my word for it. Put it in for yourself. Look up what it is. Because when you do, you'll be amazed to see what you find out.
It'll boost your confidence, and once enough people's confidence is boosted, we'll be able to work together more like we were speaking on, and unify.
Unify as a nation. Let's stop this bickering between us about, oh, he wearing this blue, I'm wearing this red, or you got a guy give me about 10 years ago, and I want to kill you. Why would you want to take these people's life? I mean, look here, there's so much more to life. So much more to life. And we spent as much time trying to hate each other to help each other, we'd be in a lot better shape. You wouldn't see the things going, the killings would stop. Because why would you want to kill my brother? Because you know something, that's my brother or whoever brother it is. It's somebody's brother. Or that's somebody's little son. That's somebody's daughter. What about your own kids? I just feel somebody killing them in the street, one of your own. Does that look right? No, it doesn't. Instead of helping each other, as you can see, every other race help each other, and they do fine. You're scared to help each other because everybody want to be a chief. Everybody can't be a chief.
And we lack the confidence to reach out past our own selfish self or our hyper defensive selves. We lack the confidence. We get hyper defensive. Get the confidence. You'll be able to reach out and expand and be more comfortable trusting each other. Once
Trust is earned.
Exactly.
I can understand that. Well, so what had a hard life? What had this and that? So have a whole lot of other people get over it. Because no one owes you anything. Anything. You should work for what you have in the first place. I said, oh no, if you don't want to work, you don't have. But you know something, I'll tell you like this right here. Nothing works in your life until you get to work yourself. And that's the truth. Not trying to steal another man's goods because that can get you killed. With me, that definitely get you killed. You ain't got no damn business about another man's good, nor his property, nor his children. But our people, for some reason, I don't understand why you want to hurt the next man who he don't have nothing, just like you ain't got nothing.
To me, that's the major. We have to realize we're on the
instead
same
of just
team.
saying, well, let's get together where we can make something. And I ain't telling you to get together to selling drugs or doing that, because that's not the key neither.
And stop
He need
accusing.
no choice. All right, you got your choice, get a job.
We got to stop accusing each other. We got different fractures now because of Willie Lynch. Light, dark, old, young. You know what I mean? You got the old school, new school, you know what I mean, type of things. We got to learn to not put ourselves in those fractured categories. You know, because like you said, the major thing is we need to come together so that we can move forward. We're not coming together fractured.
As a people. Coming together as a people.
And pointing the finger.
And now, it's easy to say what we're talking about. But what's the solution?
I thought about that. The solution would have to be everyone understanding that everyone behaving in a manner conducive to trust is beneficial to us. So it's gonna have to be a process. You gotta look at it like a process. And like you said, trust has to be earned. The more we work at that, it'll resonate and be more easy to create and manifest situations where we have trust, we have the confidence to get together as a nation and do what we want to do and need to do.
Yeah. With that being said, we need to pull together and try to get all brothers. That's everywhere, not just here in Niagara Falls, but everywhere. One brother look at, establish all get together. Let's proclaim the truth, every last one of us, and pull together somewhere that we can call the truth at, so we can resolve all our problems. Because the problems that we have with each other, there's no need to kill. Because what are you going to do? End up in prison the rest of your life? Or you're going to say, well, I want to run this way. It's not about that. Think about we put our resources together, how we can come together and come up with a solution for clean money for everybody. Because we can. We spend the most money on this planet, black people do. And I think if we put it together and put our resources together and put it with each other and just kept it within our plate, then everyone could come up. And if you sit back and think about it, we could. Each and every last one, because we can. All we got to do is start spending with him.
What about
and to start spending with him will send him into a goddamn panic.
One way or the other. I do think the economic system we're involved with now is designed for us to be the highest spending because we're the highest working. We're the slave.
Yeah, but here's the thing. To start putting our people in places that they need to be. Okay?
Yes.
I guess somebody run a congressman over here and then put him in places this was going on.
Then I'm gonna mention the strength of that design to keep you the most spending slave.
Yeah. Well, we ain't the only slaves.
I ain't saying that's impossible, but I'm just
because just like they made. I mean, here's the thing. Emancipation Proclamation only meant one thing: transfer of ownership. Okay. When you being a personal owner of a slave to the government saying, "Goddamn, they all slaves." If we're going to work off the national debt, which can never be paid clear off. That's another story and another show. Yeah, I mean, it's time to get together economically. Economically. It's the only way we're going to be able to overcome that adversity that we've been going through as a people in this nation. Because we sit at this table. There's no seat for us at the table. I keep talking about, where's our chair at the table?
I think
there is none.
We have to be willing to provide service to each other.
Well,
I think the economic will fall in line after that.
All of it comes together. But these are things we have to be worked out. It's not an overnight thing. But we do need something that will kind of be immediate. That's not going to be immediate. But with some work and preparation, we could get these things done. I think the results would be tremendous. I mean, first thing is to start. We can get these things under control. I do believe that. Like I said, we are a great people. Our people are the greatest people on this planet. We've been everything on this planet. Martial arts. This is us. Okay? I know this. Learned in Egypt. Waiting for a guy anywhere called Hong Kong or China or anywhere else. This is what we did. You think about, how could you go and say, well, you look at the Tiger side kills this person because, and study his form. Because all of that was in a place called ancient Kemet that they call Africa today.
We're much bigger than we think.
And we're much larger than you think, because we're everywhere. And we have to be the first. We got to be everywhere. Let's stop taking each other for granted. Because we do. You rather listen to what this guy said, oh, well, he right because he white? White don't make you right, not at all. He been the wrongest man on the damn planet since he's been in existence.
The wrongest.
Oh, yeah. He stole everything. Everything. I think about the design of this doorbell that keep coming out. My cousin invented that shit in jail in the 80s. Documented proof. Seen it. They steal everything. He tried to patent it. They stole that from him. Right now, she's everywhere. Which way to now put it out? Like he didn't have it. Well, let's just say that's crazy as hell. But you stole that idea. And if I was him, I'd take all that back because that's his. Quite sure you still got the original doctors going to check in on that story. And we're going to find out. And I will bring it back to you. Let you know what's going on with it. Well, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no. What point was I making? I think we can move on.
Yeah, that'll work. You know what I mean? But the solution to our problem. You know what I mean?
I think I've been harping on the solution. We gotta put ourselves in a position to where we trust each other and willing to provide service to each other. Everybody act like these particular actions and this particular action, which is true. But motivation, like, why am I gonna do this? And somewhere along those lines, we're gonna have to be the type to be willing to serve each other, what was the other one I said? We have to be able to serve each other and whatever. Look back. Rewind.
One thing, to protect each other from the useless violence that has been out there and playing abroad between brothers. That look here, if you want to go, if you want to kill folks, this that, they got places for you like that there. I ain't talking about jail. I'm talking about you go to war. They want to fight. You feel like you want to kill somebody, jump on one of them planes, and they gonna pay you for it. And you'll make good money. They teach you a skill. Go ahead and take it out on them. If you're that angry. Or don't take it out on your fellow brothers. That's bullshit.
You should be able. You should be trying to earn a trust, and find some service with them. Build, you know what I mean, some rapport with them. Trust and serve. That's my aim. That's my solution for now. Because everything else is just futile to me. If you don't really want to do it.
To get together and for one day, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get together and put all that aside. What crap you got to put to the side? Because if you look at it, it was stupidity got that way.
Right.
In fact, you say, you're a church for this and that. What damn church? What money did you put out to own that piece of property? You didn't. You say that about him, but when that white man pull up, you don't say about him in your goddamn church. You start getting down on the ground, spreading needle. I thought that was your damn church. Did you shoot him now? Hell no, he shoot us, fuck that.
Out organized and fear. I'll say
and why would you want your brother to fear you? You shouldn't.
Right.
That's so. I mean, there's so much of God-given talent that's wasted. But you have so much God-given potential in you that you're even trying to tap into.
That's behavior like your people are the enemy. That's that kind of behavior.
Well, I
no
understand.
Trust, no service.
I understand how people, we don't get the best of things, the best of raising anything. That's why we should come together. Because, say, you say, okay, you know, 20, 30 brothers, now I'm making some money. You say, well, look here, let's open our own little thing. And after so long, we take our shares and go each other. If you can't do it together, that's okay too.
True, exactly.
But at least give it a shot. Try to do something that's legal. Especially if you tried the illegal thing, if you sold drugs and that's what you do. Here's the thing. You ever thought about that you are a businessman? You know the difference of knowing how to have inventory, this, that, how to rake in money, how to and extract it? Or you know how to, the same thing you do doing that, you can do on a legal tip and make more money. So why would you want to do the wrong thing? Especially I look at the brothers who got plenty of money from doing the wrong thing. But they refuse to say, look, I can go to jail anytime. But no, you would rather do the street thing, which I think is so sad with our people. Because you can go to jail, you ain't got to look behind them and say, look here, this man is chasing me because I'm doing this. Or that man, you can do things the legal way, get paid more money, and help your fellow man. Because the enjoy that you sold makes you a businessman. Anything you've done makes you a businessman. You know how to negotiate? All you gotta do is put the work in your head, but you know we don't. What makes the street so? I mean, ain't nothing out there that popping me that want to run the street.
Best training lab is the streets.
No. Well, I tell you what, to me, if you sold any damn thing, if you sold lemonade, goddamn, makes you a businessman. I'm a business. Cause just damn. You know what I mean? I like to have my own company, own my own shit, do my own thing. That way, I ain't gotta look behind me and say, "Oh man, I gotta worry about this man coming to get me because I'm doing some wrong shit. I'm selling this." No. Well, my money is legit, goddamn.
And it's with me.
And it's with me.
Everywhere I go, it's mine. Everywhere I go.
And I can help my fellow black brother for him to do the same. This is what we should be doing. A lot of people don't. I mean, I don't know something about the street is just calling to it. I don't know.
Well, I think some of it goes back to the design being for us to be the biggest spending slave. It's a strong design.
I understand the design's telling me
I don't think that might excuse you, but it's not a good reason in truth.
I don't think so. Maybe, perhaps.
Because in truth, you got to be true. And if you
Well, some people, they like the excitement, the life. You know what I mean? Ain't that much excitement in life, because one damn thing about it, they don't look good behind nobody's bars. Not at all. I'm not only caged. I don't need to be locked up no damn way at all. No.
I don't even like to give it breath.
And I think about our people in general, we were smart like that, but then, I mean, hey, during the captivity, a lot of things have been pressed upon us to think these ways. To say, oh, Lord, that's all I'm going to ever have is the street, all I'll ever be is this. No. But see, that's the thing about not knowing self, because when you know self, you have self-worth.
And you're not fractured.
That's right, you're not fractured.
Because the slaves, that thing fractured us.
This is a slave mentality.
Right.
And those are things that we need to get away from. Or not being responsible. The biggest thing is responsibility. Be responsible for your action, what you do. That's what I'm responsible for. Oh, if we're going to shoot up this or shoot that up, and no, that's stupidity. Because going to jail to me is nothing exciting or glamorous about going to goddamn jail or some prison or some cage. That's what it is, a cage. When I have a mind to think, and if our brothers, the most talented minds, are wasted on stupidity. And then when you do the thing, and then you know it was stupid, then you think about it, but now you gotta pay a sincere price for something that you wasn't thinking in your head clearly with, or about. I think a lot of us that do go to prison or jail, or the ones that, well, I shoot him, you did shoot it. Now you're in there, and I ain't saying, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Well, I thought, oh, I'm hard, no, you ain't hard, you're just a goddamn fool. Because that's your life that's been thrown away. Oh, I wasn't going to never amount to nothing no way. So that's what you say about yourself? That's what you meant for to happen in your life, because you speak what's going to happen. I do believe you speak your own faith. If you say ain't gonna be shit, you ain't gonna be shit.
I say if you say it often.
Especially if you say it often.
Right.
That means you're not trying at all. Have you ever tried? He'll say, I won't be a success doing this. I'll be a success doing that. You got to have a self-worth. It's a lot of things are stolen from us. And that self-worth part was the first thing. Let's go back to self-worth. That's what's happening.
That comes to me when we learn to serve each other.
Yes.
Then you can really see your value to each other.
The service of each other. And look at each other like we were in the beginning, brothers. Not pushed apart, but come together. Right. And I think that can happen. I know it can happen, because I look at the young brothers around here, I've talked to many of them, and they wish that useless killing will stop.
I see it happening here and there, time to time. We just need to consistently put more consistency behind that. So it's all the time, everywhere.
I think it's happening some everywhere. But I think that to me, the brothers that are conscious and are aware, we need to get together from all over the place. We all need to get together and have I don't remember what it is, but one day I'm gonna call all the brothers that are conscious, so we can all get together. Something like let's say a family reunion, because that's what it will be. Even though we don't even know each other, we have family reunions. Don't even know our people when we get there. I say we
a comedic family
a
reunion.
comedic family reunion. I think it would work. I think we would get through to the young brothers around and abroad.
I think if you did it in some sort of regular fashion, or some rhythm of a footwork where it's not just one time.
No, not just one time. It would take more than once to do because there's organization. It's not that's going to be organized to do those things or to have them set up. And I want to do that. And, yeah, I think I'll try that. Try to do just that.
Man, anybody want to help out with that, get with him.
And anybody want to help out with
You
us?
got the email.
Me, you got the email address. What is it again?
It's letstalkaboutit.davidhill@gmail.com. It's on the show either here or here, all show long.
Call it in. Let us know what you think. Until now, y'all have a good evening. I've enjoyed you on this Lucette day. This is David Hill. Let's talk about it. Have a good night.
Thank you again.